This is a Lyser, a Tier 5 German aircraft carrier. That's right, you heard right. German aircraft carriers are now in World of Warships Legends. Germany planned many aircraft carriers during World War II. This one was 85% complete, but it never did see service. So I thought we would go ahead and purchase it and set up the ship and the commander and see if we can get some highlights in a standard battle. First, let's go ahead and purchase the ship. Okay, so the ship is purchased. I will go ahead and set it up. The first upgrade is either secondary battery or flight control mod 1. I definitely want to do the aircraft preparation time because I want as many aircraft on deck as often as possible. So we are going to go ahead and use that instead of the secondary upgrade. The second upgrade slot will be either secondary battery or Air Groups Mod 2. Since I have Air Groups Mod 2 in stock, I will go ahead and use that. And then there are the rest of the default upgrades. I'll select the advanced aircraft. You can see that for the torpedo bombers, it will increase their hit points, 145 points for the squadron. Maximum speed will be increased by 3 knots. Aircraft restoration time is reduced 1 second. There will be 2 more aircraft on deck, so you'll have 12 now. And maximum torpedo damage has been increased up to 5433. So we're going to go ahead and do that. The fourth upgrade slot will be the other aircraft upgrade. You can see that it's the hit points for the squadron will be increased up to 3811. Maximum speed increase is going to be 24 knots, which is huge. 180 knots. I think that will be the fastest aircraft carrier plane in the game. Aircraft restoration time, though, will be increased by 10 seconds. And maximum bomb damage will be increased up to 9,000. So that is pretty darn good. Go ahead and do that. The last upgrade here is for the hull. I'm going to go ahead and boost that to get the 20,000 that I need. Okay, so that's a little over $3, $4. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and boost that, and we will get the hull. The hull, you see it increases the hit points of the hull by 200, and it reduces the rudder shift time to minus 4.3 down to 10.6 seconds. So that is pretty good. Okay. So we will look at the loadout for the ship. And you can see that the AP bombers and torpedo bombers do have the normal Tier 5 consumables of the engine cooling and the fighter patrols that we saw in the American and Japanese aircraft carriers. The normal damage party, control party consumable, and the fighter consumable is there as well. I'm not running any additional boosters, and for now I don't have any camouflage. Let's look at the stats. Survivability is 41,000. Armor is 10 to 80 millimeters. The 80 millimeter is probably on the bridge. We'll look at that later. As far as the aircraft, torpedo bombers, maximum speed is 163 knots. Attack unit size is 2, 6 aircraft per squadron, 12 aircraft on deck, which is improvement over the Tier 3 aircraft carrier. Restoration time is 62 seconds. Maximum torpedo damage is 5433. Torpedo speed is 52 knots, which is higher than the Tier 3. And the torpedo range is 3 kilometers, which is still kind of short. But with the faster torpedo speed, it didn't seem to be a problem in Tier 3. So be looking forward to see how it goes in the Tier 5 here. As far as the dive bombers go, hit points for the squadron is 3811. Maximum speed is 180 knots, as we saw before. That is great. Attack unit size is 2, 6 aircraft per squadron, 12 aircraft on deck, and a 58-second restoration time. Maximum bomb damage is 9,000, which is getting, that's pretty good. Especially if you do get some Citadel hits for that amount of damage. Let's look at the artillery. Firing range is 4 kilometers. That's still kind of short. We didn't really do much to enhance the secondaries there, but that only comes into play if you get detected. We're going to be trying not to get detected. I guess it's always the plan. Here's your AA defenses. 10 times 4 is 40 20 millimeter flak, 14 37 millimeter flak, and 10 155 millimeter DOPS. Maneuverability 32 knots, which is great. Rudder shift time is 10.6 seconds, but that's pretty much going to be controlled by the autopilot anyway. Detection range is 9.6 kilometers by sea, 7.6 kilometers by air. Let's look at the armor. Here you can see some yellow. That's not bad. Here's the Citadel. And let's look for the 80. There's the 80 millimeter armor, it looks like. Okay, so the Citadel is more or less below the waterline, and it is protected a lot more than the Tier 3 aircraft carrier was, so that is good. Let's take a look at the overview. AP bombs, aircraft with armor-piercing bombs. That is awesome. Be looking forward to see the Citadel hits we get here. Fast aircraft, aircraft with above average speed and at 180 knots. For those planes, it certainly did seem that way. Feeble aircraft, though, with a below average HP pool. So, you know, I may want to go back in some of the setups and possibly increase the AP pool of the aircraft squadrons. So this aircraft carrier, the Weisser, is a project created during World War II to convert an Admiral Hipper-class heavy cruiser into an aircraft carrier. Weisser inherited the high speed and strong armor protection of her prototype, while also outmatching the power of her AA defenses to a certain degree. Year of design was 1942, and what I found is the ship appears to have been 85% complete, but it never saw service, and that's why you don't see any ships in the series here. Okay, so let's set up the commander. The commander is Hans Geisler. Space trait is Barrage, speeds up the reload of your ship's secondary guns. Ernest King is the first inspiration for improved AA armament range. Yamaguchi is the second inspiration for an increase in armament AA armament damage. As far as the skills, the first skill is Swatting at Flies for an increase in your aircraft carrier's AA damage. Second skill is one-way ticket to increase torpedo damage. Third skill is hidden threat, improves the concealment and maximum HP of your torpedo bombers. The fourth skill is heavy consequences, increases the damage and armor penetration of your plane's AP bombs. As for legendary rank, you can see I have Hans Geisler ranked up to 14.2. The .2 is the second legendary rank, and I've selected Corkscrew. It increases the penetration of your AP shell bombs and decreases the incoming damage to your aircraft carrier while in proximity of an ally. So we will see how this goes. I think this is a new skill. Normally I would have selected fully packed, but this time I'm going to give the Corkscrew a try. So with that, we're done with the setup of the ship and the commander. Let's go out and see if we can get some highlights in a standard battle. Okay, so we're in standard, we're in the Sea of Fortune, and we're going to give the Weiser a tryout, a shakedown cruise, and I'm going to be looking to get more than 60,000 damage, which is what I got with the Rhine. So I'm looking at the map here. I'm probably going to set the autopilot over to the right, right below that little island over there. But yep, there you go. I'm moving the cursor, and that's where the autopilot's going to go. I was checking out the rest of the ships to see what was on both teams. So I'm going to take off, and I'm going to switch to AP bombs here because I'm going to be looking to try to get some Citadel hits with these bombs and see if I can get the 7 Citadel hits in a mission to complete that 1 Havoc milestone for this week. So I'm going to take off here, and we are going to go out here and see if we can start spotting the enemy and try to get some Citadel hits. So it appears that the cruiser the Weiser was based on was a Hipper class cruiser, and it was 90% complete, and there was a decision made to convert it to an aircraft carrier, and it was at that point that construction stopped on the Hipper class. I think the name was the Sudets or something close to that, and the Weiser never really did get completed, but we have it here in the game, and I am lined up on this battleship, so I'm going to take a shot at it right here with the armor-piercing bombs. That looks like a good lineup, and it was a complete miss. That's kind of unfortunate, but the match just started, so we're going to take off again in another flight of armor-piercing bombs. And these planes are biplanes, and I remember the advanced aircraft on the American and Japanese aircraft carriers were monoplanes, so I'm not 100% sure about these biplanes, but it's what we have in the game, so we're going to go ahead and use them. We're going to go out here and see if I can get that battleship again and try to get some actual hits. This battleship looks closer. Actually, I'm not sure if it's the same one as the one I was targeting the last match, but you can see the aiming reticle is way behind the airplanes because the speed is getting close to 180 knots. So these planes are much faster at 180 knots, and that looks like a good lineup right there. Let's see if I can get more hits this time. And 1 hit, but it really looked like it was going to be a no-hit. So 1 hit, I figure I was lucky to get a single hit on that. And here's the Ranger that I lucked into, so I'm going to take a try at this. It's not really moving, so this should be an easy hit. And there you go, there's another hit. And we did spot 5 planes so far, and we have 2 hits with 1,836 damage. So that is kind of lightweight in the damage department, which is kind of unfortunate. I'm not really thrilled about that. But we're taking off in the torpedo planes, and these torpedoes, like I said, are much faster. You can release them a lot closer to your target, and I have personally been having much better luck with these torpedoes than with the American and Japanese torpedoes. I guess my big problem with those is they seem too slow, and when I release too close to the target, they don't seem to arm and detonate. So I don't know if they were actually modeling the lack of detonation on the American torpedoes, which was true at the beginning of the war. But that's kind of what I found in the game with the American and Japanese aircraft carriers. So we're going to see how we do on this Tennessee here with these torpedo bombers. So I'm taking my first run, and there is 2 good torpedo launches, and it looks like I'm going to get 2 solid hits. That is awesome. I'm going to come back around and take another shot at this guy. And this is like taking candy from a baby. This is very easy. And we're just going to see if we can get a couple more hits here. Only 1 hit, but it is a destruction, so that is awesome. I'm going to fly around and look for another target. I guess this battleship up here is as good as any. So I see somebody firing at me from the right over there. I'm kind of ignoring them. I'm going to go over to this battleship here. Detected another enemy ship, so we've detected 6 of the enemy ships so far, so that's good. We're doing our job as far as detecting the enemy ships, the red ships. So we did get destroyed though, and we're taking off in armor-piercing bombs again. So we're still looking for our first Citadel hit after 3 torpedo hits and 2 bomb hits with only 10,000 damage. That is pretty low. That's not great. I am happy to get the 1 kill though, and we're just going to continue to hammer away and see what we can do. It looks like we're a little behind as far as the ships go, so it's going to be kind of tough to win this match, I think. But we are going to push into B. I think this is where quite a few of the enemy is. B and A, you know, since they're both red. A is being captured right there. It did get captured, so the enemy is definitely right around this area. So there's a smoke screen from an enemy destroyer, it looks like. I'm going to take some HE bomb shots at this Fuso. That was a miss. That was a terrible bomber run. Going to come around and try to get another shot at him. I'm thinking about the battleship over on the right over there because it was kind of aimed in the right direction, but I decided to go after this guy again. Kind of looks like he's backing up. But that is a good hit with 2 Citadel hits. That is awesome. That's what we're looking for. We're up to 28,511. Going to come back around and hope for another Citadel hit. It looks like you have to hit the ship kind of in the middle of the ship for the Citadel hits. If you hit it on the nose or the tail, you're not going to get the Citadel hits. There's another Citadel hit. It looked like the ship wasn't backing up, as it turns out. It's kind of hard to tell from the air sometimes, but I do know that that is a tactic that I've seen a lot of people use, a lot of red players. Have used that. Probably my blue teammates are using that, but I don't really notice it so much. I really notice it when I'm playing as an aircraft carrier and I see the red team moving backwards. That is a thing. So we're up to 37,691. 3 Citadels, 5 bomb hits, and 3 torpedo hits. And we do have the torpedoes this time, so we're going to go back and see if we can get some torpedo hits. Now we're really down. We're down 3 ships against 5 on the red team, so it really is looking like we are not going to win this match. Well, now it's down to 3 versus 3, so maybe we have a chance here. I'm relocating the aircraft carrier closer to the action over into sea, and that way it will be a shorter hop to get to the enemy ships. I am kind of lined up on this Fuso here, so I'm going to take a shot at him with the torpedoes. And you can see I release right around 1.1 kilometers, and that looks like it's going to be 2 good hits. That is awesome. Only 3,000 damage per hit though, so that's not so great. But here I'm going to take a random shot with these torpedoes. You can see that they splayed diagonally quite a bit, and that's because I didn't let the torpedoes line up in the dive. I started diving too close to the ship, and you can see how it looks like a cone there. And there I'm trying a blind shot. It was the best I could do at the moment, and it went way off to the right. So taking off again in torpedoes. And there they are. There's 2 of them. Not really sure where the destroyer is. I'll probably find out later. But right now, I am going to try to finish off this Fuso. He's looking kind of thin. He doesn't really have much left, so 2 more torpedo hits, maybe even 1 torpedo hit would do it. And there I release within 1.2 kilometers. And that looks like 2 hits. That's awesome. A destruction. 1 battleship down, 1 to go. Take a run at him. Release 1.5 kilometers away. Torpedoes are pretty fast. We'll see if we get a hit. Okay, we're switching to AP bombs. We did get a hit. We're up to 59,000 damage. Pretty close to the score I got in the Rhine. So it would be nice to beat that score and do a little bit better, especially with a Tier 5 ship. Queen Elizabeth looks like it is lining up for me pretty good here, coming through that channel. And this looks like a good lineup. And this looks like it's going to be some prime hits right here. And that's awesome. 2 hits, 2 Citadel hits. So we are up to 5 Citadel hits and 77,934 damage. That is awesome. Going to try to get another hit here. Nope, it's not going to work out. I'm not lined up correctly at all. So I have to go around and try to line up again. There's a destroyer. Shows up temporarily. But I am going to try to get another hit on this battleship, maybe 2. But he's destroyed. So, not so fast. I did not get a hit. I've been pretty bad at hitting destroyers, but it's the only ship I have left. We might actually win this match. It kind of looks like we will. And so I'm going to go up with these bombs and try to hit the destroyer. I've started adjusting my tactics to aiming way ahead of the destroyer, and we're going to see if I can get any real hits here on the destroyer. So there you see I'm releasing way in front of the destroyer, letting him drift in. I did apparently get a hit because I got it defended, so I think that's a hit. Even though a hit didn't show up, I did get the flag, so I'm not sure about that. I think it's because I got a hit with no damage. There's another, you can see I got another defended flag, so I think I just got 2 hits there between the 2 dive bomb runs, and we're going to try again. So this looks like he's lining up perfectly there. I'm starting way ahead and letting him drift into these bombs, and there I do get 2 hits. 79,770 damage, and that's awesome. The island is protecting me from these torpedoes. And he's destroyed, and the battle is ended. Victory. Can't believe it. 243,000 credits, 79,769 damage. Finish in 3rd place. That is quite a surprise. 209,000 credits I netted, which is awesome. And there you go. 7 detections, 9 torpedo hits, 9 AP bomb hits, 2 destructions, 5 Citadel hits. As you can see, I did have boosters going for this particular battle, even though I didn't have the boosters set up while I was setting the ship up. So, it really does look like things are looking up for the German aircraft carriers. This is the Jaguar. I'll see you on the high seas. Thanks for watching, and subscribe if you like it.